Did you?
Oh, yeah, but I did not like it because you passed by real police officers. You know, I'm in my golf shirt. And I'm like, don't pull me over. Just don't pull me over. I don't want to have to explain why I have this car.
I love it. Did you wreck the road one?
Yeah, we,
The windows not tinted?
yeah, there's
They said they got putting in the
Not at all.
I was,
I'm living out all my dreams here. Got to drive a cop car.
you drove one, I drove one, and the chief drove one.
That's cool.
Of course, we didn't make it. I was stopping by the
Yeah.
So we're good.
Oh, wow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 6:31, so I'm gonna go ahead and call us to order so we can go and get started. Should be a quick night tonight. We'll start, we don't have anybody here to say the invocation tonight, so we'll just start with the pledge of allegiance. I'll lead us on that. You can stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this time I'm going to go ahead and call the roll. I'm going to do it in order of districts like we do every single meeting. We're going to start with District 1, Councilman Tim Sullivan.
Present, sir.
District 2, that is me, Michael Coker, I'm present. District 3, Councilman Kyle Shields. District 4, Mayor Pro Tem Michael Rudnick. Present. And then District 5, Councilman Doug Ingram.
Present.
All right, Madam Clerk, if you could notate that 4 out of the 5 council members are here this evening. That will bring us to the item E, and I should have mentioned, we do have a couple copies of the agenda on the podium if anybody'd like to take a look at them. That brings us to item E, the mayor's opening comments. As I said at our last meeting, the mayor is tasked with providing a budget every single year to present to the budget. The mayor also has the option to delegate that task. So I have delegated that task to staff. Jamie and the team have put this together, so we're going to be hearing from them tonight, and they're going to present it just like we talked about at the last meeting. Does any of the other council members have anything they'd like to say in opening?
Just got one request. Can we get staff name tags? I'm really horrible with names, and I don't know half the people that work for us. That's just a simple request.
We can work on that. All right. Anyone else? Any other councilman? Nope. Hearing none. We'll keep moving right along. That brings us to the interim city manager's opening comments. Any comments from you, Jamie?
I just kind of want to say on camera, thank you to the city of Woodstock. They have donated 5 vehicles for us to use for our marshal service. We have 3 of them outside now, and we have 2 more that will be here tomorrow. And so pretty soon we'll get those wrapped, say Mulberry Marshals, and then our marshal service will kind of really get underway. So I want to just say that. Thank you to staff for getting everything together. We have the construction work done for the move. We have internet, IT services, everything's up in our new space across the street. So October 2nd will be the last day here. Most of the supplies have been dropped off. Joy and Kelly were putting the desk together and getting everything kind of situated today. So we're really excited about everything. This will be the last, October 2nd, this will be the only thing in here is what we have here for the council meeting that night. And then after that, everything will be over there. So really exciting time for us.
Awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be real nice. We can fit a lot more people, not be so cramped in here, so should work out well. So I'll echo that, what Jamie and staff's done to get that set up, as well as what they've done. The city of Woodstock, we really appreciate their donation and willingness to help one of their sister cities get off the ground, so we appreciate that. All right, moving on, that'll bring us to item H, consideration of tonight's meeting agenda. Has the council had an opportunity to review the agenda for this evening? Is there any other additions or items that need to be added to the agenda or changes that need to be made? Hearing none, then I'll make a motion to adopt the Mulberry City Council regular meeting agenda for this evening, September 25th, 2025. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Sullivan. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All in favor? All opposed? By a vote of 4, the meeting agenda is hereby adopted. Item I is consideration of the September 11th, 2025 meeting minutes. Council, is there any additions or changes that need to be made to those minutes?
Not for me.
All right, hearing none, I'll make the motion again to adopt the Mulberry City Council regular meeting minutes for September 11th, 2025 as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All in favor? All opposed? All right, by a vote of 4, the meeting minutes for September 11th as presented are hereby adopted. All right, that brings us to item J, our public comment section. If there's anyone here that would like to give a public comment, this would be the time to do that. We will limit you to about 2 minutes. We do ask you, if you do want to give a public comment, to please sign our pad, and when you step up, if you could state your name, your address, and if you know what district you live in Mulberry, you could do that. So is there anyone here that would like to give a public comment this evening? Thank you, Mr. Stansel.
My name's Wayne Stansel, 3262 Stansel Drive, and I'm District 3. And what I have to say is that 2 of the most historically important places in Gwinnett County is in the city of Mulberry, and that is the Elijah Wynn House and the Fort Daniel site. The Elijah Wynn House, the 4th and 5th, is having a Frontier Fair, and I'd invite everyone to come to that. I'm a member of Gwinnett Historical Society, and that's a 2-day event. That's Saturday and Sunday. The Appalachian River is right there, and that is the end of the Mulberry. Is that correct, property line, the city limits?
I believe so. That side of that Decatur Road is Mulberry, yes, sir.
And at Fort Daniel is October the 18th. We'll have a 1812 fair. Those 2 sites are sister sites. That is, they're basically the same time period, 1812 to 1814. The Fort Daniel, we have the printout. You can see the site of the actual fort. We have a museum there. It will all be open. There will be archaeological digs going on for everybody to see and take part of, and you can see all the artifacts that we found. So it's very important to me. I'm a historical buff, so I like that. And just as a point of reference, excuse me, the Mulberry River was originally part of Gwinnett County. But originally, when these forts were built, this was Franklin County. Then it became Jackson County. In 1818, it became Gwinnett County. But the only municipality in Gwinnett County that was in the United States when it was formed, of course, it was non-existent then, the city of Mulberry. Because the United States went down 124, which is the Hawkins line, from Currahee Mountain to the headwaters of the Appalachian. That's where Pittman's Automotive and the middle school's at. That was the end of the United States right there. Fort Daniel sat on that base fort. That General Knox, who was Washington's chief of artillery, said that was the most important fort on that line. So it is an important site, and it's historically accurate and correct, and they both predate Gwinnett County. So those points, we'd like to invite everybody from the city of Mulberry to come out and enjoy it with us.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Stansel. Great information.
Thank you much, indeed.
Yeah. All right. Would anyone else like to give a public comment this evening?
Yeah, this one.
All right. Hearing no more, I will go ahead and close the public comment section. Jay? All right. That'll bring us to our first item of business this evening. First read, item K. First read of the City of Mulberry fiscal year 2026 budget from October 21st, 2025 to September 30th, 2026. Public hearing. We'll have a public hearing on this as well. All right, Kate, you gonna do this?
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. It's my privilege to present today to you our city budget for upcoming fiscal year. This budget reflects city's commitment to fiscal responsibility, essential services, and investments that enhance the quality of life of our residents. Next slide, please. I will start with revenue overview. Our revenue are projected to total of $9.6 million across all funds. The general fund, which supports city's core services, will contribute 7 out of 9 million. The enterprise fund is supported by $2.1 million in stormwater revenue. And the capital project fund includes $500,000 of local maintenance and improvement grant, which will directly support infrastructure improvement. We will go through components of general fund revenues in a couple of minutes. I will move to expenditures and other cash outflows. The proposed expenditures total $7.2 million across all funds. Total estimated expenses and other cash outflows in general fund is a range of 5 million. On the infrastructure side, we are dedicating 1.9 million towards stormwater projects, and we are dedicating $500,000 to public works, roads, etc. Next slide, please. In summary, we see that the budget projects net positive fund balance. It ensures that core services are funded, that infrastructure investments are prioritized, and reserves are maintained. On the next slide, we will be looking at the breakdown of general fund revenues. As you can see, the majority, 43% of forecasted revenue will be coming from insurance premium tax, followed by ad valorem taxes, permitting fees, occupational tax fees, franchise and financial institution fees, and etc. Moving on to the proposed expenditures and other cash outflows, we are looking at the breakdown that has the following components: planning and development, general and admin, city leadership employees and contractors, our reserves, employee-related benefits and taxes, and city marshals. Mayor and council members, I respectfully present this proposed budget for your review and consideration. I'll look forward to your feedback or to any questions.
Is there any questions from the council about the budget?
Just one, it's just a definition. What is LMIG grant? What does that come from?
So that refers to the LVIC funds, so the state, through the gas tax, when everybody
Okay.
fuels up, municipalities can apply for your mileage to get reimbursement for such things as, road repair. Now that we are over the right-of-way that is within the city, through the transition period, some of that maintenance cost may fall upon us. And so we want to prepare in the CM's office how we handle those projects. Your traditional public works stuff from that standpoint, since we do not have public works as a service, is handled through the CM's office. So this goes back to conversations with Georgia Department of Transportation about their projects in this area, since we have, state highways and 85. Reviewing of those projects will be handled in the CM's office. Road repair, how we outline that, that's where these LMIG funds will be used, and while we set them out as capital projects.
Any other questions from the council?
I've got just two real quick ones maybe. The first one we talked about, I think we've had some discussion about previously. I was just curious just want to make sure I understood this. In terms of, obviously, when we do budgeting, it's always kind of, trying to forecast revenues is always a little bit of a, so we feel like the methodology used to forecast revenue is, I won't say conservative, but is as accurate as we can be.
It is as accurate as we can be. I want to look at, when you look at the feasibility studies compared to what this budget is, it's a little bit less where we stand point for franchisee fees.
Yep.
A lot of that is because we have not received those funds yet.
Got it.
So when we forecast, we don't have anything to base that, we don't have any historical data to base that projection on. So we have not listed those, only listed the ones that we have received funds for so far.
Got it. And so if there's any variability, and there's always gonna be variability, but if there's any variability, it might be a surprise to the upside versus, certainly you're not signing up for it, but I understand the variability would be experienced potentially the other way, not downward pressure.
That is correct.
Okay.
Because also with that, right, like we accounted for the insurance premium since it was such a large amount,
Yep.
right? But we didn't account for certain franchisee fees.
Got it.
There are some other items in here that we did not account for, that we potentially see as additional revenue that may come up, but it's too hard to predict it without any historical data for it.
Got it. And then the last question is on the city marshal side. I know the allocation there, it's, when we talk with folks in the municipality, 26 square miles, it's a large area to cover. And that percentage, so we have some opportunity maybe in the future to potentially adjust that budget to fit whatever the resource requirements are for the marshal and team. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, sir. What we
Okay.
can do is we can take a look at, you know, where we are with this, with the marshal service and the marshal's office. And as additional revenues come in, or as we make adjustments, we could do major budget amendments or minor budget amendments
Yeah.
and bring them to you all to allocate some of those funds to the marshals.
Got it. Well, I think it's a great bit of work too, just to tip of the hat to you and staff, because getting the vehicles from Woodstock and all that, that's a big deal, and we appreciate the city of Woodstock too, so. It's gonna be a big deal for the citizens of Mulberry too, so it's
Absolutely.
awesome.
We should have the vehicles wrapped and ready to go by Halloween.
Yeah,
And we're kind of prepared to, you know, make sure that our chief marshal as well as some other staff are out on Halloween, you know, passing out stickers and treats and things like that.
that's awesome.
Dressed up by marshals.
Yeah.
Dressed up like Mulberry Marshall. Thank you, that's all I have, thanks.
Any other questions from the council? All right, Kate, I think that does it. Thank you for your presentation. There is a public hearing component of this, ladies and gentlemen. That means that we will take public comments in a public hearing. So we are going to limit those in favor of the proposed budget to 10 minutes, and then those that are opposed to the proposed budget, 10 minutes. And so we will go ahead, and I will go ahead and open up the public hearing component. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor of the proposed budget? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing for those in favor. Would anyone like to speak in opposition of the proposed budget? Hearing none, I will go ahead and close the public hearing for those in opposition. So that will conclude the public hearing component. The next item up on our agenda is item L, is an executive session. And so I would make a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of discussing litigation. Yes, two litigation matters. Okay, so I'll make a motion to go into the executive session for the purposes of discussing two litigation matters. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor? All opposed? All right, by a vote of 4, we are going into executive session. Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain what this is for those that don't know. This is where we are going to retreat back and we are going to discuss some litigation matters in private. If you came tonight, this would be a good time to leave, but you are more than welcome to stay. What will happen is we'll come back in. If there's any items from that executive session, we'll take those up. Don't really know how long it's going to take, so you're welcome to stick around, but this would be a good kind of conclusion for tonight's meeting. So if you do decide to leave right now, thank you for coming out tonight, and we will see you at our next meeting on October the 2nd, which will be we have a special call meeting on September 30th. It will be just the budget, because we have to have 3 readings for the budget. So Okay,
we'll have a special call meeting at 3 p.m. because that's be during the day. But then we'll have another regular scheduled meeting on October 2nd.
Okay, so next meeting will be at 3 p.m. September 30th, and then we will have our next meeting on Thursday evening at 6:30 on October the 2nd. Okay? All right, well, if you're leaving, thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next time.
turn our audio back on.
Okay. All right, at this time, I will make a motion to end the executive session. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor? All opposed? All right, by a vote of 4, executive session is hereby ended. I don't believe there's any, Mr. City Attorney, no items we need to take up from executive session.
Nothing,
correct?
nothing,
Okay,
Mayor.
thank you. All right, then at this time, I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Sullivan. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor? All opposed? All right, by a vote of 4, we are hereby adjourned. Thank you.